Welcome to Real World News 24/7. My name is John. Let's get into this story.
Governor of Georgia, who said that he was supporting Donald Trump in the 2024 election for business reasons. He thinks Trump would be good for business. Of course, I'm talking about Brian Kemp. Well, he just got handed some instant karma when the Trump administration denied necessary FEMA aid to Georgia that former President Biden was providing to the state of Georgia. Let me just show you the letter that Brian Kemp received from Donald Trump's FEMA as Trump's trying to gut FEMA. Then I want to show you some videos where previously Brian Kemp talked about how former President Biden was giving him everything he needed regarding Hurricane Helene and any other disaster, which Donald Trump did not do in 2020, I might add. And then Donald Trump was lying about it and saying Biden was not giving the aid and Biden was being rude to Georgia and he was betraying the people of Georgia. Meanwhile, Trump's first act was to literally give the middle finger to the people of Georgia. And you see over and over again, these Republican governors, because of their spineless nature, destroy their own states because of what? Mean tweets by Donald Trump, mean Truth Social posts by Donald Trump. It's so pathetic. Let's go through the facts detail by detail here. This is from FEMA in response to the request by Governor Kemp. This is in response to your January 24th, 2025 request for an extension to the cost share waiver under major disaster FEMA-4830-DR that was declared on September 30th, 2024 due to Hurricane Helene. So it's an extension of what Biden agreed to immediately. You specifically requested an extension of the 100% federal cost share for debris removal and emergency protective measures, including direct federal assistance to 180 days. And you reiterated your request for an increase in the federal cost share for permanent work to 90%. Based on our review of all of the information available, it has been determined that the increased level of funding you have requested for major disaster FEMA-4830-DR is not warranted. Therefore, I must inform you that your request for an extension of the period of 100% federal funding for debris removal and emergency protective measures, including direct federal assistance to 180 days, is denied. It says FEMA will monitor the situation, but it is otherwise denied. Going back to what Brian Kemp said in 2024, look, you may not like Donald Trump personally, but you like his policies a lot better than Kamala Harris, Kemp said at the Republican gathering. Quote, it's a business decision. You're making a business decision. Okay, well, our economy was doing well under former President Biden and former Vice President Kamala Harris. 16.4 million jobs were created. They brought inflation caused by Trump 1 administration under control. Never a month where jobs were lost. Consumer sentiment was feeling better. We were talking about a Goldilocks economy, a soft landing with no recession when every economist in 2021 predicted because of Donald Trump's conduct, there was going to be a recession. And the stock market was up about 55 to 60%. Regardless, Brian Kemp and these Republicans, Donald Trump's policies were way better. He was destroying your state. Look, take a look back at November 21, 2020, 3 days after asking Trump for disaster aid to recover from a tropical storm in 2020. Republican Governor Brian Kemp of Georgia enraged Trump by certifying the results of the election. Trump, who had been urging Kemp and Georgia Secretary of State Brad Raffensperger to declare him the winner in Georgia, assailed the governor as a moron and a nut job after the certification. Trump sat on the disaster request for 55 days before finally approving it. But he waited 55 days. Did Kemp not remember that? How about this? This is from September 30th, 2024. Donald Trump was lying that President Biden refused to talk to Georgia's Governor Kemp. And you see Franklin Graham and all of these people out there lying about the great results that FEMA was actually providing, and they were lying and saying that Biden was not giving aid. Of course, corporate media was not fact-checking this. They just played it. But let me show you what Trump said. Play this clip.
We do need some help from the federal government. They have to get together, ideally with the governor. That governor needs to, he's been trying to get them, and I'm sure they're going to come through. But he's been calling the president, hasn't been able to get him.
Okay, now contrast that on the same day to what Governor Kemp said, that Biden had given everything he wanted. And notice this is from September 30th, 2024. This is, if you remember the letter that I showed you, Governor Kemp was requesting an extension of what Biden provided for debris removal, help from the federal government. And Donald Trump said, here's my middle finger, go F yourself, to all of the people of Georgia. Play this clip.
So I just spoke, the president just called me yesterday afternoon. I missed him and called him right back. And he just said, hey, what do you need? And I told him, you know, we got what we need. We'll work through the federal process. He offered that if there's other things we need, just to call him directly, which I appreciate that.
Now, you would think also, if you're Governor Kemp, Donald Trump calling you all of these names, attacking you, attacking your family, attacking your wife, I don't know, maybe that would be a reason to say, maybe I'm not going to support that guy. But no, with these Republicans, they love the abuse. It's very strange that none of them can stand up to this, and they put our country in this situation. Here is Donald Trump back in August of 2024 attacking Governor Kemp.
I don't know. Now in Pennsylvania, I have great relationships. In Georgia, I do too, but unfortunately not with the governor. I've never understood it. When you get somebody elected, they're supposed to like you. He's not exactly, for some reason, and you'll have to ask him about that. Yeah, I'd love to see it get repaired. I think that if we don't win Georgia, Georgia is a big win, is a big state. So I won Alabama by a record. Nobody's ever gotten that many votes. I won South Carolina by a record. You don't win Alabama and South Carolina by records and lose Georgia. It doesn't happen. And the people of Georgia understand that. There was tremendous anxiety and problems in Georgia. A lot of people say, what happened? And all we want is honest elections. If we have honest elections in Georgia, we have honest elections in Pennsylvania, we're going to win them by a lot.
And then can you just...
Now, I'm going to show you more on Governor Kemp in just a moment. I want to let you know, though, a question I get asked a lot, which is, Ben, how do you do the research for these videos? Like, how do you clip it and how do you find it? Well, one of the resources I use, they sponsor the Midas Touch is talking about as well. So here's Governor Kemp interviewing with Caitlin Collins as well. This is April 23rd, 2024, where he talks about how Donald Trump should not be given absolute immunity for his crimes. So Kemp is recognizing that Trump is engaged in criminality. Here, play this clip.
Trump is making an argument right now that is in the hands of the Supreme Court, where it goes that he has broad immunity from being president and that he can't be prosecuted for anything he did while he was in office. I wonder what you make of that claim.
Well, listen, I don't think anybody's above the law, you know, a Democrat, a Republican, an independent, myself, or anybody else. So that's my personal opinion.
Do you think that those cases should go to trial before the election so voters can make a decision based off that?
Well, listen, I think most voters probably feel the same way I do. I mean, we're a country that was built on laws and the Constitution, and it's you know, up to us really as elected leaders to be the ones that exemplify that in a lot of ways. So we'll see where the process plays out. I think probably they will be ruled on for the election.
You know, but the wild thing is, this is Trump, October 4th, 2024. The lies just keep coming without fail at Governor Kemp's press conference in Evans, Georgia. So Kemp holds this press conference. Then Trump says the jobs report for September was bad. It was very good. He says the economy was bad. It isn't. He said the federal government isn't helping, while it is, with hurricane relief. Continues to lie over and over again. Hat tip to Chris Burkowski for just writing that. Here's Trump saying it. Here, play this clip.
I'm not thinking about voters right now. I'm thinking about lives. And to be honest,
much bigger than anything else, but we're thinking about lives, a lot of lives lost, a lot of people missing, and that's what I'd be focused on right now. Devastated our economy. It's one of the big problems we have. And on jobs, we have the illegals. We seem to be going
at what's going on. Households are bracing for another bump in inflation. Americans right now predict inflation will go to 4.3%. Over here, we see inflation surging in Donald Trump's first month in office. And Trump's asked, so, your tariffs are likely going to increase inflation, isn't it? Here, play this clip.
They'll do it without tariffs, and therefore prices won't go up. There could be some short-term disturbance, but long-term, it's gonna make our country a fortune.
So Americans should prepare for some short-term pain.
No, you said that. I didn't say that.
Well, if the prices go up.
Let's see what happens. Nobody really knows what is going to happen other than.
And so then a reporter says, well, maybe are you going to direct agencies to study if the tariffs are going to be harmful or cause inflation? It's like, no, I'm not going to do any of that. Here, play this clip.
Reciprocal tariffs. Would you also direct agencies to study the impact they would have on prices in the U.S.?
No, there's nothing to study. It's going to go well. The United States is going to become a very, very strong economically country. Yeah.
And folks, I could go state by state. I can look at how Donald Trump is harming.
Okay, so there you have it. Please comment below and let me know what you think of this news video. I would like to say thank you for watching and supporting independent media channels like this one. Please like, share, and subscribe to get our newest videos on news you need to know. Thank you.